since day one when I first came in the building. He was always on me. He was the first person that was like, I'm not gonna call you sauce. You gonna have to work for it. I dedicated my whole offseason to him and to working towards that nickname. He just pushed me every step of the way.
Great communicator to get everyone on the same page.
Hey, you back! You back! Hey, you! Hey, jump left! Jump left! Go!
Your understanding of that in the spring, worked his butt off this month off, came back 231, which is, that's amazing. So excited about what he can do within this defense.
Allen crossed the ball, it's loose inside, and picked up by Mosley. Allen deep into the end zone, broken up incomplete, Mosley.
Playing Buffalo, at Buffalo, it was a pulling guard coming around. It was like a lead play. CJ comes down, knocks out the guard, and at the same time somehow made the play.
Let's go! That's a huge play by Mosley.
And I'm just like, yeah.
How great it was to see him healthy and out there playing. Watch 57 just come down the...
Effort, technique, violence, execution. That's all you need today. Let's go. Feel your energy today. You start to finish. You start to finish. Let's work. Let's work, baby. 4 quarters. Let's finish on 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
What's up, guys? I'm Elijah Vigo.
I'm Michael Kanalakis, and welcome back to episode 3 of the New Era Jets podcast. Before we get into it, we want to give a quick thank you to our captain and our leader, CJ Mosley, who we sadly, just ended up cutting, but big shout out to him. Great for the fans, great for the team. The players still love him, and I wish him best of luck for the rest of his career and best of luck through his life, because he was a great part of the Jets. I think he, fundamentally turned around our team, our franchise. So, shout out CJ Mosley. Best of luck to you, man.
Yeah. It's just hard releasing him, after all those years. Obviously, the first year with us, he got hurt. But I don't remember that first game against the Bills. He was outstanding against Josh Allen. Amazing.
He was one of those free agent signings where it was, kind of a risk, and it turned out, in my opinion, as a Jets fan, that's one of my favorite signings so far. Is I feel like that's the standard us fans hold our organization to now, is when we bring in free agent signings. We got so blessed with Mosley, so now we're always if they don't turn out like this, we miss. Where it's no, we just got really lucky. He really made New York his personality, and he really turned around a broken organization, and he definitely left his mark. So I'm really hoping dudes like Quincy, I know I see Tony Adams post about him a lot. I hope those dudes carry that kind of energy and stuff forward to the locker room.
Yeah. I don't think there's any other leader that Jets I've ever had that's like CJ Mosley.
No. He's in his own category, and he'll go down in Jets history for that aspect.
For
100%.
sure. He's basically made what Quincy Williams and Jamie Sherwood are today.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks to see. I remember the first game, like I said, against Buffalo, he had a pick 6 against Josh Allen, a bunch of tackles. And how did he get hurt last year? His first year.
First year.
First year, yeah.
What was first year?
Was it a groin injury or a leg?
It might have been something lower, because I know last year he struggled with the neck. Last year was everything. He had turf toe, the neck, and it was just unfortunate. But he had I loved his time with the Jets, and it's nothing but respect for Mosley. I think the players are the same way, coaches are the same way. So, like I said, best of luck to him, man.
Love it, CJ.
Yep.
I think he might retire, but if he does go to a different team, best of luck. Hopefully, not in our division.
So I'm saying, hopefully, he goes to the NFC, and
please
have an all-pro year there. Please don't be in our division.
Please. Yeah. Okay. So for this episode, we're gonna talk about every free agent signing we had since day 3 to today, which is I believe day 7.
Mm-hmm.
And to start it off, we got Rashard Weaver, defensive end. Defensive end. What do you think about that?
I mean, I feel like we're all in the same boat here. Not a lot of information on him. I personally did not know who he was when we signed him, but I feel like he's going to embrace New York pretty well from what I've seen him posting. That's something I've been keeping an eye on is all these dudes are signing, how they're responding to it. And like he was one of them where it was kind of like that, I have something to prove type of thing where it's like he's clearly been doubted. He hasn't had the best stats. He hasn't been that good of a player. And it's like, all right, now I have a fresh start. Like I have a chance to turn my career around because he's a young player too. So, for the benefit of our team and for him, I'm hoping he turns out well. Best of luck to him, but I can't sit up here and lie and act like I know who he is. I don't know who he is, but I hope I made a post about all this stuff. I hope these dudes prove me wrong. Like all the dudes where I was like, who is this? Like I hope they prove me wrong and we're like game 4 and he's like leading a team in tackles or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if I've seen your. I don't know if I've seen. I was about to say. I don't see your insight. I think didn't you like one of your comments when you said like.
Yeah. I commented who on a Jets post and he liked it. So hey, if my motivation helps him, go for it, man. If you help us win games, that's all I care about.
Yeah, go for it. But like I said, I'll be honest. I had no idea who he was. I'm pretty sure every Jets fan didn't know who he was. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, now he has a name. He has a name for himself.
That's what I'm saying. He has a chance to start fresh and make a name for himself. And where else would you want to do it but New York? New York media.
I think it'll be good. And for another signing, what do you think about? I can't see the name. Chaguma Okaforo.
Okafor, whatever.
Yeah.
Same kind of situation. I will say I did know him when he was with the Steelers for that little 4 or 5 year stunt, but this whole thing last year with the Patriots, I kind of look at it as one of those blown out of proportion over the head situations where, I mean, as Jet fans, we love, hey, walk away from the Patriots, screw that team. But
please,
I just hope it doesn't translate to the Jets. But I think as long as we keep him in that right tackle spot, which is where he came into the league playing and which is where he wants to play, I don't think I see any situation like that coming. And like I said, he has the size to play right tackle in the NFL. He is young, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Good thing he walked away to the Patriots and came to the better side. So, like I said, best of luck to him. What do you think about it? You like the pick or no?
I like it. I mean, he was pretty good with the Steelers. His the last year's Steelers wasn't bad, wasn't good. It was okay. Could be better, But with the Patriots, obviously he left the team. That's going to be like something people are known for. So hopefully it doesn't come to us. But I mean, main reason is because like I'm pretty sure you put him at left tackle, a position he's probably never played in his life. So I mean,
exactly.
Why would he want to play something he's never played? So he's walked with the team. So I think it'll be
that whole situation. I mean, there's probably a lot that went on behind the scenes that we'll never figure out. But like I said, since he's coming to New York, I hope it doesn't translate. I don't think it will with this new coaching staff. So I think it's hopefully going to work out in our favor. And I'm wishing that, hoping he turns out to be a star player or even just a great piece of ours. If he does get that chance to start, or if he is just a depth piece where 1 week someone might go down, he steps in at right tackle and makes a name for himself.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Josh Myers signing?
I actually really like that one. For a second, I thought like he would be our new center at one point. Then Tippmann would go back to right guard. Then AVT would go to right tackle because he's a starting center in my opinion.
Yeah,
sure.
I was seeing that all through Twitter. I mean, you've probably seen it. A lot of Jet fans are kind of debating about with the current pieces we've picked up, how is the O-line going to look? But I don't think that's something we'll know obviously until probably after the draft, depending on the approach we take in the draft. But like you said, I do think he has earned his stripes to be a starting center. And Tippmann had a really good year last year. So the way I see it is we have 5 names on our O-line that deserve starting spots. So
exactly.
Now the way the coaches figure out what's going to make that the best approach, in terms of moving around and everything, that's all up to them. But I do think we have 5 good names, and we haven't been able to say that in a while as Jet fans, where we actually have an O-line that I'm decently confident in that can go out there and perform. So I love the signing. Used to play with Fields at Ohio State. Garrett Wilson, Fields, now Josh Myers. Maybe we trade for Olave still. Hopefully that's on the table.
Hopefully.
But I love the signing. I mean, I think it adds depth, obviously. I mean, I don't think he'll be a backup, like you said. I think we both think he deserves to be a starter, so depending on what they do. But I think it's a great signing.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about one of our we signed a tight end because we really needed one, Stone Smart from the
Stone
Chargers?
Smart, yep. Same kind of situation with Rashad Weaver. I'm not gonna act like I know who he is. I didn't know who he was, but for him, he actually does have some pretty nice highlights. I think he was like top 5 or something in tight end contested passes last year or something. So he is a big target. I think what is he 6'4" maybe?
Something like
I don't
that.
know. Yeah, I don't know his exact size, but he's a big target. He loves to get up there. He was a converted quarterback, so I like the signing as an idea of, he has quarterback experience. Our new OC is a young-minded, coming from under Ben Johnson. They're very creative, so I could see something down the road with Fields as a quarterback that could run a tight end like this who had quarterback experience. You never know, that could create some creativity. He's a big size, so I think there's a chance, might split him out a couple times at receiver since he is new to the tight end room. So, I think it just follows that trend of we're going clearly young and haven't reached their potential yet, but you could see the potential in them. So it's just up to the coaches and stuff now and the players obviously to create that blend of can we get the most out of you. So I personally think it's a good signing. I don't think it's enough of a move where we could just be satisfied as tight end, which is obviously why free agency is still going to continue. The draft's going to happen. But overall, I think we got him for pretty cheap. I think it's a good move. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I like it too. I'll be honest. Actually, I wouldn't say I knew he was, but I did see some of his highlights during the season. I didn't know his name. It was against the Chiefs, I believe. He had some really good contested catches. He's like I said, he's a big tight end. Obviously you can put him at wide receiver also. I mean, with our new OC, we could probably do some trick plays with him throwing the ball. Maybe, I don't know. But so far, I'm not gonna say he's the tight end 1 for sure. Well,
No.
not yet. But he's definitely going to be a tight end 2 for sure.
Oh, yeah, no, I think he could definitely rotate in. But we also re-signed Jamin Davis, who, like I said, I did not realize he was on the roster, but I do think, it's one of those pieces of young, promising. We have a nice linebacker room, so, he's going to be under some valuable leadership, and I do think he could bring a lot to the team this upcoming season. I mean, from what I saw, a lot of Commander fans were telling Jet fans, we should be happy to have him, because I think they've seen, the potential in him, but he just never reached it in Washington. So, like I said, I think it's a cheap re-signing, a lot of potential, a lot of upside, so it's the coach's job to get it out of him, but I don't see the harm in it. I think, if anything, it adds more value to the defense. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, yeah, he's still young. He has a lot of potential. He has 8 career sacks.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he was a bad or good, but he has, like I say, he's still young. He has a bunch of potential. I mean, it just didn't work out in Washington. I mean, last year he really have a chance to play because he had to play against Bobby Wagner, then former Jet Frankie Louvu.
Exactly. Yeah,
He
Frankie
had a
Lulu was
really
crazy.
good year. He had a really great year today. I mean, last year's. I wish we kept him, but
Yeah.
was he really good with the Jets? You think so? Well,
No, he wasn't that good with the Jets. I mean, that's my hope with
Yeah.
a lot of these free agent signings, which we're obviously continuing down right now, is for example, the next two were Byron Cowart and then Jay Tufele, the
Yeah.
2D linemen, where it's I'm hoping it's kind of one of those situations where we've seen dudes for example, Sam Darnold, didn't work out with the Jets, finds a new spot, didn't work out he was on the Panthers for a little bit, didn't work out 49ers, he was okay, but he was still back up. All of a sudden, he goes to the Vikings, and he's a completely different player. So it's kind of one of those things where a lot of these dudes have shown that potential where you could say dudes like Sam Darnold and stuff showed potential in New York, but they never reached that, full potential. So I'm really hoping a lot of these dudes are kind of in that thing right now where they went to their teams, they've been going around the league, and they haven't found that spot that stuck yet or found that coach that kind of connected with them. And so I'm hoping even 3 or 4 of these dudes can really find that and we could actually take these dudes and elevate them to the potential that they've been showing. Because I think Cowart, I think we talked about, he didn't play that many snaps, but the snaps he played in, it was high efficiency. So I think he could bring a lot. I know it's the same with the Jay Tufele dude. I think they're both young. Yeah, they're not. You can't go around the league and everyone knows who they are. But it's the idea of we needed depth on the D line, and these are young dudes who are clearly going to be fighting for their NFL careers. So, like I said, it's low risk, high reward. Where if even one of them works out, I think it's great for our team. So, how do you feel about those signings?
Yeah. I like like I said with Colbert, he didn't play too many snaps, but when he did, he showed some potential. The other guy, I can't say his name,
Yeah, I can't see.
I haven't seen too many stuff about him, so I can't really say anything. I know he was with the Bengals last few years. Maybe I think he showed sometimes like being pretty good in the league. And we also just today we signed another D tackle, Nanadi from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah, Derek. I love that signing personally.
Yeah, he could be starting alongside Quentin Williams. I mean, he showed some flash at being a starting D tackle. Last year he wasn't doing too much, but the 6 years before that, I believe he was like pretty good.
Yeah, he had a really good rookie year.
Yeah, he was starting alongside Chris Jones. Yeah, I believe he's good against the run.
I think it's great for that. Exactly what you just said is, you look at our rush defense last year was horrendous. So someone like this, where this is kind of the first signing where like right when we signed him, everyone was like, okay, he's known for his run stopping. So that's a great signing in that aspect. And I look at it as the aspect of he has 3 rings. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he might have not been the biggest contributor to those teams, but he still played with those teams, learning alongside one of the greatest, Chris Jones, and that, like, even though he's young, that is still veteran leader. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, we don't have a lot of players who have even playoff experience. And now you're bringing in this dude who's young, but he has 3 Super Bowl wins and made it to 4. So it's like, I think that's great to have on the D line. I think I'm hoping something like this, like he's coming, being alongside Chris Jones, and now you're going to pair him with Quentin Williams. I kind of hope it creates that little back and forth, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, if Quentin Williams can make him elevate his game just a little bit more, where you get him back to that like rookie mode he was in, I think we'd be in great shot. And I do think he will be starting day one. But obviously, the draft could change a lot of that. But I think if you were to ask as of today, I think he should be the starter next to Quentin.
Yeah, definitely. He's pretty good. I mean, like I said, he has a playoff experience, so maybe we could bring that to the team. I mean, he's been in the Super Bowl 4 times. I can't even think of a player on our roster right now that's been in playoffs, if I'm being honest. Besides college, I mean, Garrett was
exactly. I mean, like Lazard, obviously, but that...
Yeah, that was in Green Bay.
It's not a lot, so that's a great piece to add.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Tyler Johnson signing at receiver?
Tyler Johnson, I didn't know who he was, obviously, but I know he was with the Bucks, and he won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. And I believe the last 2-3 years he was with the Rams. He's had some pretty good games, in my opinion. The first game of last season, he had a really good game, yards after the catch. I believe he's 7th in the last year, 7th in the NFL in yards after the catch. And in contested catches, I don't know the exact stat, but I know he's good with that. And
he's very low in drop rate.
Yeah, and drop rate, yeah, exactly. Which is something we really need.
I think we kind of talked about this through text, but if you were to say as of today, I think it's looking more of like, because I also saw a report Lazard might be coming, or is probably coming back, which a lot of fans are kind of pulled apart on right now, but I posted something a little bit ago about it's just, stats are stats. Lazard missed, I think, 4 games last year, maybe 5, and he still had 30 catches, I think 500-ish yards, 6 TDs for us. So he is still a valuable receiver. Yes, I don't like his drop rate, but, that is something that can improve over time. It just needs to be addressed, obviously, which I hope the new coaching staff would be addressing if he's coming back. But the way it's looking is you're probably going to look at, Garrett Wilson, receiver 1, Lazard, receiver 2. Hopefully we take a receiver within the first 3 rounds, and then that will be receiver 3. And then receiver 4, you're looking between a battle now with Tyler Johnson and Corley. And like you said, Johnson won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady, so that is still Super Bowl experience. It's playoff experience. He's still young, too, so he is still trying to fight to create a name for himself also. And like you said, he has shown a lot of promising clips and highlights and stuff. So it was one of those dudes where I knew he played for the Rams the last 2 years or whatever, but I didn't know exactly who he was, so I had to go back and watch clips. But I think he's promising. Like I said, he has to reach that potential, obviously, but it follows the trends of all the free agents where these dudes are young, they're low risk, and it could be a high reward if they turn out the way we hope they do.
Yeah. What do you think? Also, while we signed Tyler Johnson, we also signed a special teamer, Chris Boyd. What do you think about that? Besides, what he's known for.
I think every NFL fan, you hear the name Chris Boyd, you just right to the clip of him pushing his coach. But
exactly.
Someone who plays football, I view it 2 different ways. Where it's like I might have viewed it in a moment as he's intense with his coach. There's no disrespecting. But there is also the flip side where I think it was, like you said, right after a penalty. So I don't know how that went. I don't think we ever will. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that might have went on. But I think we talked about it last episode with Irv Charles. Our special teams unit needs help. I know he was a decent special teams player last year, so I think it adds depth to the special teams unit. And something like that kind of goes back to the Okafor thing where I hope that new change of scenery helps them and a new coaching staff holds them to that, standard and accountability where something like this won't leak into our locker room or leak into our team. So for the benefit of the team and him, I'm hoping stuff like that is out the window and won't come back up. But I think it's a solid signing. I think it adds, depth on the special teams. What do you think?
Yeah, I've seen some flashes of him being a good special teamer. I mean, if he just take out the part where he pushed his coach, just that's the only thing. For New York too, he's gonna be known for that for the rest of his career probably.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, he doesn't come to New York. But other than that, I like the signing. Tell the special team unit. We also signed our last person we signed, Austin McNamara.
The punter. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about him. I mean, I think a lot of fans are the same, where it's you don't view as us fans, we're looking for big names, all that. So it's you think of punting and kicking, where it's oh wow, we signed a punter. But if you look at it, realistically, that actually could be a decent signing, depending on how what's his name again? I don't know why I always forget his name. If he retires anytime soon, which he is getting older, this could be a potential punter of ours. So, I mean, it might be something like that. I know he didn't play last year, so I don't see any harm in it. I don't really see any value in it as of right now, so I don't really think of it too much as eye-catching thing. But like I said, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, best of luck to him. He's coming to New York, so obviously we'll welcome him. But what do you think about it all?
I seen a clip of him in college. He was at the 10, and he kicked a 90-yard punt, end up as a touchback, which I don't know if crazy. For punting that's insane, 90 yards. So I mean, he's got a leg for sure. But like I said, we don't know if Morstead's going to come back or is he going to retire.
Exactly.
We're probably going to hear an answer soon. But if he does retire, I think it'll be I'll like him as our starting punter. He could learn from Morstead too. He's been a great punter with us the last 2 years.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's pretty much always. I think that's always signed so far. I think.
Yeah, we the last two I had were we re-signed Isaiah Oliver, and then we re-signed Keen Nwagwu, the kick returner, which you called that in episode 1, so that's really good. We re-signed him, but I mean, we could start off with Oliver. How do you feel about the re-signing of Oliver?
I like it too. He obviously play a safety and corner, and when if you don't know, our secondary last year was getting injured a lot, and when he stepped in. And when he stepped in, he did a pretty good job, in my opinion. He's a good tackler. And he did a little special teams, too. He helped out. I mean, he did it all, in my opinion. And it was a good backup.
I like it a lot because I think of it as one of my big things with going into the offseason was I think you look at dudes like Brandon Eccles, Jalen Mills, and then I had Oliver. And you saw those three where it was those three kind of stepped into roles last year I don't even think they were expecting to be in. And I think all three of them performed in their own aspect of there was some positive, there was some negative. So I was really hoping we could re-sign at least one of them. And I really do want Mills to come back still. I've been seeing a lot of, I think there's a lot of conflict between the Jets and him right now, so I don't know where that's going to go. But the fact we at least re-signed Oliver and I know he's coming back, that makes me feel a little better since obviously we let Eccles go. And I don't know what's going to happen with Mills. I would love for him to come back. So, if he sees this, I've seen him. He's seeing my stories where I'm asking him to come back. So, New York will keep you here. You had great. I think you played great last year. A couple slip ups, but if he comes back, I would love that. So, yeah. What did you think of the re-signing of our kick returner?
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Kick returner one for sure.
That Seattle game, like I said, I was at that game. I had no idea who he was. I'll be honest, and I'd seen whatever number he was. Breaking tackles, getting he had a 90-yard kick return touchdown. I'm like, where has he been all season? He was on a practice squad.
Exactly.
He should have been on team day one for sure.
Yep, that's a shot at the coaching staff last year. Which I mean, we talked about maybe I think last episode too. With I look at him, Kene Nwagwu, whatever his name, I don't know how to say it, and then Malachi Corley with the coaching staff last year, where it's two young dudes, promising, but it's I don't think the coaching staff really utilized them. So that's what you hope with a new coaching staff like this is they can catch this stuff early and you let those dudes go out there and ball, because his short opportunities he had, he clearly showed he deserves that. And, it's nothing to respect to Xavier Gibson. I love his story. I still think he could add some value to the team, but in terms of who's going to be our kick returner one, I think Ken Ayer deserves that number one chance now.
For sure. I mean, he had 150 kick return yards that game, I believe, and that was half of what Gibson had all year.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really run the ball as much.
He definitely proved himself that game, so I'm really hoping going forward we have that. So out of these signings so far, because we obviously went through day 1 and 2 and talked about our opinions, all that. So day 3 onward to today, which is March 16th, who would be your favorite signing in between this gap as of now?
Favorite signing
or re-signing?
Oh, yeah, including re-signing.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I love the Canadian Nwangu, the kick returner. I love him. But if we're talking about actual signings, I'd probably have to say either Tyler Johnson or the I forgot his name from Kansas City, the D tackle.
Derek Nottie.
Yeah, Nottie. Yeah, either one of those two I like for signings.
See, mine's tough because I think it's hard to assess it because with the draft and everything coming up, we also don't know what other moves we're making. So certain moves we've made can be more beneficial than the others. But just me as a fan, kind of assessing of where we have holes and everything, I think my favorite as of now is probably, like you said, Derek Nottie, just because I know we've always been struggling in the run game. So I think that adds a very big aspect to D-line, and I hope he turns out well with Quinnen. But depending how the draft goes, too, I think someone like you said, Tyler Johnson, I think that'll be a huge move. And then also the re-signing of Isaiah Oliver, that's one of my favorites so far, too, just because I love the way he played for us. He does have a lot game experience, too, so that is nice to bring back to the team. But, it's hard because I think a lot of the moves, like we talked about with Rashad Weaver, even Smart, it's they're not big names, so it's hard to assess them. But it's that idea of, it's a new staff that was kind of put in a tough situation, so you kind of have to assess it with a little step back where it's okay, really how much can we do with the situation we're in? So, like I said, since they're all in New York, best of luck to all of them. I hope they turn out better for our team. But if you had to grade Glenn and Moogie so far through this process, what grade are we looking at and why?
We're including day 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, day 1 all the way up to now. So you include our, everything we've signed, re-signed, and even the people we've let walked.
I'd probably give. It was good. Some moves we could have we could have done better. But I give it a a B- or a C+.
That's fair, yeah.
What would you give them?
I commented this yesterday on one of the Jet fan accounts because it was literally that question where it was what would you give them so far? And I said I would give them right now, I would be in the B-, like you said, B- to C+ range, but it's not a set grade, you know what I'm saying? Where it's as of today, I'm going to say probably leaning more towards the C+, let's give them a high C, because, it's just being realistic. These are a lot of smaller names, don't have a lot of film, don't have a lot of stats, so I don't know how they're going to turn out. But the way I said it was all these names, if 3 or 4 of these dudes end up either starting for us or turn out to be solid role players, that C+ all of a sudden could turn into a B-, B+, you know what I'm saying? Where it's, it's going to change as time goes on. Depending how the draft goes, we're also going to see, okay, well, if the draft doesn't go the way we wanted and we had these other names in free agency we could have took a shot on, well then, yeah, I'm going to come back and criticize them because we had a chance to fill it, but you waited for the draft. But with how heavy the draft is this year in talent and the spots we have, the holes we have, the dudes that we are coming in this draft to fill them, I think it's a C+ leaning towards that B, high B range, depending on how the season will go.
Yeah, like I said about the draft, obviously the grade could easily change depending on how the draft goes. We have about 8 draft picks. From what it looks like, we're probably going to sign an offensive weapon in the first round. First 2, then maybe third round, maybe get another safety, D lineman, maybe even a tackle too. Because we still need a right tackle. Because I don't know about that guy we got if he's going to be our right tackle. Maybe
exactly. I don't know what their plan is with that, but yeah, I don't know. I think first 3 rounds, the way I see it, round 1 and 2, in my opinion, should be offense based, where you're looking tight end, receiver. or tight end, receiver, or right tackle. So first 2 rounds, you hammer one of those, and then third round, since the third round, you could still find some solid talent. So third round is, and then where I would maybe look at, run stopper, D line, something like that approach.
Yeah, for sure. I think like you said, first 3 rounds they're gonna be all offense, and like probably I know he's got a 4th round pick because of the Reddick thing. I don't know if it was this year or the following year.
I think I saw that on Twitter. I didn't read if it was this year or next year.
Yeah, I hope it's this year and then after that we got like I believe 2 5th round picks. Then like the rest are like 6th round picks.
You could still get some solid talent in the 5th round too.
Sure would. He was a 5th round pick, and look how he turned out.
I'm curious. Do you see the Jets making any trades? I mean, we've obviously talked about the Olave trade, which I think a lot of us fans are more on like it definitely is realistic, but I don't really know if those talks are even going on. But do you see us maybe trading to get more draft picks in the 2nd, 3rd round, or do you think we're kind of just going to stick where we're at and try to get the best talent available?
It depends. Like, you talking about like trading like draft picks or just like for a player?
Just trading draft picks, because we always see so much of that throughout the draft.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we might trade in the 1st round. We probably might trade up and maybe we get like a few more draft picks. But as of right now, I don't think so. We don't really need to trade.
I feel like
a lot of trade.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're at a decent spot of, we kind of see where our roster's at. I think our management knows exactly what our holes are. I mean, it's pretty obvious what our holes are. So I think, like I said, I'm going to put the benefit and the doubt in their hands. And, for the betterment of us fans who have been through pain for so long now, I hope we get this draft right and we actually have something to look forward to, because I'm very excited for Fields to be here. I'm wishing him the best of luck. So I'm hoping that, Moogie does his job and we draft an actual, solid lineup where we could go into this season actually having optimism of, this could be a legit season for us for once.
Yeah. He has the same potential. I mean, with our new coaching staff, obviously he needs weapons too. For like wide receiver, tight end, but if we get that, we'll see how we do. I'm not going to say we're going to playoffs yet, because every time I say that, and something ends up happening, so I'll wait till midseason to say if we're a playoff team.
Yeah, we'll check back in midseason and see how our opinions are feeling.
Yeah, we'll come back to this. If we make the playoffs, we'll come back to this.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, that's pretty much all I got to say about the draft, the grade. I mean,
that's everything I got. I mean, obviously a lot more moves are going to happen. I hope, we make more big-name signings, but so far I think we're standing at a good spot. And we'll catch you guys next episode.
Yeah. This is New Era Jets. We'll see you next episode. Peace.